Hello everybody, this is ItsMTC here, and I know it's been a while since I created a follow-up to my C-sharp tutorial, but this one's going out to this guy. His name's Rise of the Fallen, and he's pretty cool, and so he wanted to start learning some C-sharp, and so I'm going to pick up these tutorials now a little bit more. For you other viewers who want to know C-sharp and also him. So, let's get right back into it. We didn't really get that far. I just learned that. I thought I went into some import stuff or like interaction with the actual program, but nope, I just told you guys some background knowledge. So I opened up my tutorial 1 project again, and just to tell you what you should be able to do by the end of all these tutorials. You should be able to use C# in creating your own software and creating your own small tools, using them for common tasks that just make it easier. So say there's this very popular game now called Minecraft. So say you want to create a patcher. You can use all of this stuff that I teach you guys in C#, and you can create a tool that potentially allows you to patch things in it, change like load mods, textures, whatever you like. So that's just an example of one thing that C# can possibly do that's very like mainstream kind of now. But yeah, going on from there, let's go ahead and work on our program. So if you didn't change anything, it should be something like this. I think I moved some of these things around. Not positive though. So what I'm going to be teaching you guys right now is what imports are and how you can make actions for different things, for different objects on your form. So whenever you have an object on your form, when you double click it, it goes to its default action. So when you double click the form 1, it goes to form 1 load. And you have to double click on the form. You can't just write private void form 1 load and that, because in the designer code in here, it writes down that the initialized component is like this form load 1. And it's not going to find it. Like if you just wrote it, it's not going to be inside here, so it's just going to mess up your program. So you're going to want to double click that, and you can guess what form 1 load means. It means whenever you load your form. So let's just say quickly how you want this cool little action. It's called a message box, and that's when you have a thing pop up on your screen saying like, hello, do you want to save, something like that, and you could click yes, no, blah blah blah. And I'm gonna have a full tutorial after this one talking about solely message boxes, what you can do with them, some really cool functions and stuff. So right now I'm just wanting to talk to you about how you can do certain things. So form 1 load, let's do message box dot. Whenever there's a period, that means for the object, you're going to want to have it do an action or a sub thing in it. I don't memorize the words of these things, and so I might say some stuff wrong. I know what I'm talking about. It's just a matter of I don't know the exact names. So messagebox.show, and just another reference, you can't do messagebox.lowercase show. It won't come up as a method. C# is capital, what's it called? Letter, capital, something or other. You need the capitals in there for them to recognize it. So once you have this action, it usually has some parameters, and what parameters are anything inside parentheses. Now parentheses, some methods or actions just have blank parentheses, and some, like this one, include strings, include needed arguments, and then optional arguments. So here's an example. Object show, when I do this, it tells me right here that the string text is going to be in here. I'm not sure if I told you guys this last time, but whenever you have a string, you have to put it into quotes. So here's the quotes. You can say, hello, this is a string. So this is going to now message when we load the form, hello, this is a string. Now, after every single action, you have to have a colon, because, semicolon, that's what I was intending to say, because it doesn't know where to stop, because essentially how this program ends up working is it deletes all these spaces, and it just leaves the curlicue, it leaves everything without any spaces, which means that if I do this, and then I do messagebox.show, this is another message, to us, this is fine. We know this is a message box, and this is what we have. This is a message box, and this is what we want to say, right? Everything's fine and dandy. We'll take this space out, and now you have a message box show action, which doesn't obviously exist. But if you put a semicolon, it tells the program that this is a new action. So I'm going to enter this in. Also, another thing, 2 forward slashes equal comments, and then forward slash and then a star makes a long one, and then whatever you want to stop it, you can just put a star and then another slash. So that's also commenting. So as you can see, we have our action with the message box whenever the form loads. Yeah, so when we run this, hello, this is a string. Now, this is all fine and dandy, but I don't really like how it's starting out when the form loads. So why don't we make it so whenever you click a button, it loads that. So let's drag the button component. You can make it as big or as small as you want. Double click it. Now, as you can see, it says button 1 click. Now you can just like copy and paste this in. And instead of saying, hello, this is a string, you can say, you clicked the button. Yay. And as I said about there's optional arguments, if you put a colon, that usually tells you what the next option is. For some reason, messagebox.show is just being silly, and they tell you there's this weird Win32 Windows owner, and then the string text when the string text is actually here. So I'm just going to tell you that the next argument after the string text is the caption on top. So let's say, yay. So now what I mean by the caption is, now let's click on the button. Here's the yay that we wrote as a caption, and then you click the button. Then there's obviously way more functions with message boxes. You can check if someone clicked OK or cancel or yes or no, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I think that's going to be pretty much all I'm going to want to do now. So tune in next tutorial, which might be like 5 minutes from now, because I think I'm just going to go on a roll with tutorials tonight because I have time. Okay, thanks for watching. F10.